Good morning, folks. I thought for this morning we would go back to 1980 and play the Russians against the Americans in Lake Placid. I made up these cards and I used them for Hockey Blast Express, but thought it'd be fun to just play a real regular game out of it with Hockey Blast. So I'll just jump in and we'll get going here. From the face-off, we have a 6. So that is going to be visitor wins the draw. And next roll is a 10. So a 10 is a turnover if the other team has a defensive square and the Americans have it. So puck will go over here. 11, that is if the defense has 2 squares, they take the puck away. And the Russians do have it, so they'll take the puck away, and that will be a USA turnover. So I usually play with these trays I got from Travis Janssen, but the cards I made are a little bit oversized, so they're not going to fit. So Russians have the puck. Number 3, play. A team with the most triangles is going to get a shot on goal. So Russians have 1, 2, 3, 4. Americans have 1, 2 on the ice. So I'm just going to write down a Russian shot. We'll see who's going to take it. I rolled a 10, so it's going to be a 4, 1, 2. So a 4, a 1, and a 2. So that would add up to 2 stars, 3 stars, 5-star shot for the Russians. And they are in range against number 6, Jim Craig. And Jim Craig only stops 1 to 4, so that is going to be a goal for the Russians. So they pick up the first goal of the hockey game. It is going to be Helmut Balderas putting it in for Russia. I'll just write it down on the back of my sheet here. And assist going to Vladimir Krutov and Sergei Starikov. So first goal is scored in the 2nd minute of play. A quick start for the Russians, and it is 1-0. We'll just rotate and move these guys off, and we will give the Russians some momentum. We roll a 7, so that is going to be a lull. And here is the score sheet I'm using for today. I just use a quick, easy, fast one, and I write the goals on the back. So Russians will lose momentum. And we roll a 3. So the face-off goes to the high face-off player. That'll be Mark Pavlich with a 53. So the Americans have the puck. They bring it up. Number 3 is going to be team with the most triangles. So Russians have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this line against nothing against the Americans. So the Russians will get a shot on goal. And it is going to be an 8, which is going to be a 2-1-3. So a 2-1-3. And it is going to be Viktor Shlutov, the big Russian. 1, 2, 3, 4-star shot for the Russians. And this is not going to get it done. We're going to have to change the lines. And we're going to have a face-off. 1-0 for Russia early in this game. Face-off is a 10. High face-off is going to pick it up. Golikov is a 52. And Mark Wells is a 54. USA picks it up. And we have a 9, which is going to be a momentum check. We're going to check for hits. Russia has 1 and nothing up front. And the Americans have 1. Now, since the Americans are the home team, they will get momentum for that. We get a 7, and as soon as they get the momentum, they're going to lose it because of the lull, the roll of a 7. Face-off again. It is a 4, high face-off. Mark Wells wins the draw for the Americans. He brings it out. And we have an 8. So we're going to be doing an ice blast. And we're going to be checking for hits. And they have 1. I think we already did this already. They each have 1. So the USA does have the puck. So they are going to get a shot. And because it's the hit quality we're looking for, they're going to gain momentum. So think of it as a big hit by the Americans and a shot on goal. USA is going to shoot. It's going to be a 7. We got to go to the secondary chart for our shot. And 8 is going to be a 2-1-5. So 2, 1, and a 5. Ken Moore will be taking the shot. He has scissors, and we have nothing. So it's a no-star shot for the U.S. And 8, the puck is going to go over to the other side. So we'll move this down for the D-men. These ones are for the forwards. And clear the shot off, and the Russians have the puck. They bring it out. We have a 9, which is momentum. Puck goes over to the United States. They bring it out. We have a 3. So we're looking for the team with the most amount of triangles is going to get a shot on net. Nothing here on D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Russians up front. 1, 2, 2 for the Americans. Russians have a lot of triangles. So shot on goal for Russia. And it's a 7. We've got to go to the secondary chart. 8 is going to be a 2-1-5. 2-1-5. Vasiliev is going to be taking the shot. Nothing here because they don't have momentum. It'll be a 2-star shot for Russia, and they're not going to get it. It's going to be a save and a face-off. So still 1-0 Russia. We are 11 minutes into the first period. Face-off number 2, high face-off player. We got a 55 and a 55. It will go to the home team or the team with momentum if there's a tiebreaker. And we have an 8. So it's an ice blast. We're looking for skill. Pervukin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the Americans only have 4. So the U.S. is going to turn the puck over to the other side. And we got to change the lines. Here come the Russians. It's going to be a 5. Possible penalty on the play. And penalty is going to 6. So it's going to go to D5. So a possible penalty to D5. That is Ken Morrow. He's a 1. You check the 5 against the 1. And it's a 1 against the 0.5. So the penalty is going to Ken Morrow. So he's going to go to the penalty box for the Americans. Let's see how many minutes he picks up. It's a 9. And player has a fight rating. Nobody has a fight rating in this. So it's going to be a minor penalty. So Morrow is going to the penalty box for the United States. So Russia is going to be going on the power play. And we're going to use a line skip for Russia. And so we will not put these guys out. We'll put their top line out. And for the United States, we got a 54 on the face-off. Yeah, we're going to use a line skip for the United States also. And put those guys out. And the Russians will have momentum. And sitting out will be probably Eruzione is going to sit out. Here comes the face-off. We have a 4 on the power play. So go to the power play chart. Shorthanded team wins the face-off. There is a shorthanded dot. The Americans have it. So that will be a 2-spot lull. So what I do on my sheet, I just mark down the X's for the power play, and then we have the lull. So that will kill the penalty. Russians will lose momentum. Eruzione will take that off. Morrow comes back out, and we're going to have a face-off with these lines out on the ice. From the face-off number 4, puck is going to go over to the high face-off player. So the Americans will get it. It's a tie at 58, but the home team gets advantage. So Mark Johnson picks it up, and we have a 3. So again, we're looking for the most amount of triangles. Russians have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to get a shot on net. Their 5th shot of the net. We're 16 minutes in, and they roll a 10. So the shot is going to be a 4-1-2. So 4-1-2 shot for the Russians. It's going to be 2, 3, 5-star shot for Russia. Puck goes over there. There's the shot. It's a 3. It's on Craig. He's going to make the save because he has 4 saves, but we're going to get a rebound, and the rebound is going to player number 1. So the rebound is going to go to Golikov. So Alexander Golikov is going to be a 2 plus 1 more, a 3-star rebound shot, and he's got it. Rebound shot to Craig. He's going to kick it out. Puck's deflected towards the corner. 2 blocks on defense will control the puck, and the Americans don't have any, so it's going to be another rebound shot for 4. So we'll flip this around. So this will go here. That will go here. This will go here. And Starikov, it's going to be a 2-star shot since it's a second rebound. And he's not going to get it. And puck is going to go over the other side. And you know what? We're just going to double shift these lines to keep them out there since they're their top lines. And the Americans pick the puck up. They're going to bring it out number 5. We got another penalty coming up. Penalty is going to be to number 5, which is the defensive player number 4. So penalty is coming up to Starikov. He's a 0, so we check against the 2, and it's going to go against Mike Eruzione. So Eruzione's getting the penalty, number 9. And again, if there's a fight rating, of course, nobody has a fight rating in the Olympics. So Eruzione is getting 2 minutes for the Americans. And the Russians will be going on their second power play of the game in the last 2 minutes of the period. Now, I've already used their double shift, so we're going to have to rotate these guys. And sitting out for the Americans will be Harrington. Here comes the face-off on the power play, number 6. Short-handed player picks it up. So big break there for the Americans. They grab the puck. They bring it out. We have an 8, which is going to be an ice blast looking for speed. Russians have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be a U.S. turnover since they only have 4 players. And we've got to rotate the players. And the Russians have the puck. It is going to be a 10. It's a turnover. Puck goes over to the USA. We don't move the timer, and we're going to roll an 8. So again, another ice blast. This time looking for skill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Russians have it. It'll be a U.S. turnover. That is the end of the first period. We had 8 lulls, so that means each team will get 4 shots on net. The Russians with the only goal of the period, so they lead at 1-0. Shots on goal in that period. For Russia, they had 11. And for the Americans, they had 5. And for the scoring chances, the Russians, I believe, are the only ones that would have got a scoring chance. And yes, they did. They only had the 1 chance. So we're going to the second period, 1-0 Russia. The penalty will be over to Eruzione. He'll come back out. And let's start the second period. Number 11, face-off right off the bat is going to be waved off. Again, it's waved off with another 11. And we have a lull. So we're going to start the second period off with a lull. We have Tretiak in net for the Russians and Jimmy Craig for the Canadians. We start off, for the Americans. So face-off number 5 is going to be visitors pick it up, and they're going to get a shot on net. So shot on net for Russia, and it's going to be an 8, which is a 2-1-3. I got these things from Travis Jansen. He sells them at his store. I'll have to put the address in the comments. So it's going to be a 2-1-3. So the shot for the Russians is going to be 1, 2, a 3-star shot. And they're in range, but Jimmy Craig is going to make the save. But we're going to have a rebound. And number 5, the rebound is going to go to 0-2. So Mikhailov is going to get the rebound. And the way I use these tokens is whoever shoots the puck is black. The primary assist, or the person that's next in line, is a white. And then the secondary assist will be Golikov. So Mikhailov's going to get the rebound. It'll be a 3-star shot. His 2 plus the rebound. And he's not going to get it. We have a save face-off. So we're just going to have a face-off here. 1-0 for the Russians early in the second period. Face-off number 8 goes to the home team. Americans pick it up. And we have a 6. So we're looking for a zoom. And number 2 is skill. So player number 1 has skill. So the Americans are going to get a shot on net. It is going to be for number 10, which is a 4-1-2. So 4-1-2. Harrington has scissors, so they're not going to get anything on this. And it's going to be a save over to the Russians. So nothing there. A weak shot from the outside, and the Russians pick the puck up. It's an 8. We're looking at an ice blast, looking for hit. So we got to total up all the hits, and Russians have none here. And so this will be a Russian turnover, and the puck will go over to the other side. And because there's hits, they're going to grab momentum, and the Americans pick the puck up. Oh, I think did I rotate the forwards? No, I didn't. The Americans picked the puck up. Number 4, odd man rush. Number 6, does D3 have a defensive block? He does. Oh, wow. So USA turnover, and puck will go over to the other side. So I was looking for the block, and Shadreen does have it. Here come the Russians. Number 9, again, momentum. Puck goes over to the Americans. They bring it out, and we have another 9. So that's going to be a cheap shot on the Russians. 2 9s in a row. So Russians cannot gain momentum. Number 10, it's going to be a turnover. If they have a block, it's a breakaway. So it's a Russian breakaway. So a chance for them to get rid of that blue sticker there. The shot is going to be a secondary shot. Number 8 is a 2-1-5. So a 2-1-5. Vasiliev is going to be shooting, does not have momentum. It's going to be a 2-star shot, and they're not going to get it. Puck is going to go over to the Americans, and we got to change the lines. It remains 1-0 for Russia here, and we roll a 7, so they will lose their momentum. Oh, sorry, a 7 would not be a lull because of this. Sorry about that. I'll have to take that off. Sort of gotten a routine there. So whenever there is, I think they would lose their momentum. Now, there should be a fight, but there's no fight in international hockey, which means that when you ever have a cheap shot, you'll probably not get rid of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll take this away. We'll take that away. So if it was a real game, there would be a fight, but there is no fight. So I think we'll just start it off with the face-off, and the Russians will get rid of that. I don't think this should stay there for the whole time because there was no fighting in Olympic hockey. Maybe think of it as a spear or something to gain the momentum back from the cheap shot. And we'll just start off with the face-off. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm playing that right, but I think there should be special rules for the cheap shot when there is no fighting majors on the cards. I can see it in the NHL, but Olympic hockey is a little bit different animal. So I think I'm just going to play it like that because you would never be able to get rid of a cheap shot. From the face-off number 5, visitors get it, and they're going to get an immediate play. So Russians pick the puck up. They're going to get a shot on net. 8 is a 2-1-3. So 2-1-3. We got 2 stars, 3, 4-star shot for the Russians. And they're in range. Oh, number 5 against Craig is going to be a goal. So the Russians at the 8-minute mark make it 2-0. Second goal of the game. 8:35 will be the time of the goal. I just take that as the timer. Alexander Maltsev puts it in. He later became the captain of the Russian team after Mikhailov retired from Helmut Balderas. So Balderas has 2 points in this hockey game. And Vladimir Krutov, the former Vancouver Canuck, came to Vancouver. He looked a little bit overweight. He never really became the star that he was in international hockey in the NHL, probably because he looked a little bit overweight and chunky. From the face-off, visitors win the puck. Goes over to the Russians, and 6 is going to be a shot on net. It's a zoom, and quality we're looking for is smart. So player number 2, we're going to check against player 4. Fetisov is smart, and they have momentum, so the Russians will get a shot on goal. It's going to be a 4, so it's going to be a 1-3-4. So 1-3-4. Fetisov's going to shoot it. 2-star shot. 4. Oh, this is going to be an automatic. They've got 6 stars on this. Craig needs to make a save 1-4. He's not going to do it. It's a 5. But it could be a spectacular save chance. So let's go to Craig. He's a 2 on spectacular saves. It's a 4. Goalie can't stop it. Automatic goal. The Russians put it in. So back-to-back goals at the 8th and 9th minute. Russia now takes a 3-0 lead. 9:22 the time of the goal. Vyacheslav Fetisov, who went on to play for the New Jersey Devils, from Shlichtov and Kharlamov. So Russia now leads this one 3-0 against the Americans. And I think we'll do a line skip, try and get the momentum back here for the United States, put their top line out. And from the face-off, here we go, number 5. It's going to be, the United States is not getting any rolls here, folks. Puck is going to be a shot for the visitors, and it's a 7, so that's good. Secondary roll. An 8 is a 2-1-5. So 2-1-5. Vasiliev is going to shoot. He will get credit for that star because they have momentum. So 1, 2, 3, a 4-star shot. Jimmy Craig's got to come up big. Oh, man. And the Russians pump in another one. We have a 4 here, but a 5 on Craig. Craig's got a great goalie card. Just no luck's going their way. 3 goals in a row. The Russians now take a 4-0 lead. 10:45 the time of the goal. It is Valery Vasiliev, is more of a defensive defenseman. Puts it in from Boris Mikhailov, the Russian captain at the Olympics, and Alexander Golikov, one of the 2 Golikov brothers from Russia. It is now 4-0. So this is not turning out like real life. String of bad luck from the Americans. From the face-off, number 8, home picks up the puck. Maybe they can start turning it around right now. And we have a 6, so we're going to be comparing. It's going to be a zoom. We're looking for skill. So player 3 and player 3, they each have it. And it'll be a U.S. turnover because the Russians have momentum. So the puck goes over to the other side. Russia picks it up. We've got an 8, so it is going to be an ice blast. We're looking for skill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, Russians have a lot of skill. They're going to get a shot on net. Don't even need to count the Americans because they have momentum. Here comes the shot. It's going to be a 6. Another good one. 3, 2, 1 for the shot. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star shot. Craig's got to come up big. And, oh my gosh, another goal for the Russians. Wow, do you pull Jimmy Craig? You can't because you got Steve Janicek coming in. He's got nothing on there. So the 12-minute mark, Russia makes it 5-0. 12:26, it's going to be Valery Kharlamov, who you remember, Bobby Clark broke his ankle. I believe that game was in Philadelphia, the Wicked Slash. Or it could have been, actually, maybe he broke it during the Summit Series, but yeah, Kharlamov was one of their better players. So Shlichtov picks up the assists, and it is now turning into a bit of a runaway. We're going to skip the lines here and try and get the top line out for the U.S. Try and turn things around here. Dice have not been going their way at all. Number 10, high faceoff, picks it up. We got 258s. Americans, oh, they will have to get it because they get momentum. My mistake there. Play, if they have 2 block symbols on defense, it's a takeaway. The Americans don't have any, so it's going to be another Russian shot. 8th shot of the period here for the Russians. It's going to be a 5, which is going to be a 3-1 choice. So 3-1 choice. Mikhailov, 2, 3, 4. 5-star shot for the Americans. They're in range, but it's going to be a save. They will get the rebound. And number 5, the rebound is going to go to player number 2, and Mikhailov's got it. It'll be 3-star shots on the rebound. He's not going to get the rebound, and we're going to have a save, face-off, change the lines. So Americans trying to change their luck here a little bit. They need to roll a 7, get rid of that momentum. Team with the most triangles generates an offensive. Oh, sorry, face-off number 3 is going to be to the high face-off player. Neil Broughton's, oh, sorry, it's going to have to go to this side. It is tied, but because the Russians have momentum, they're going to get the puck. So Russians pick it up, and we have a 3 team with the most triangles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be another Russian shot. 10 shots for the Russians. Funny, in Hockey Blast, I played, Russians lost both games. They're tight. In this one, it's turned into a bit of a runaway. Here's a shot for the Russians, number 7, going to the secondary shot. Number 5 is going to be a 5-2-4. So 5-2-4. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star shot for the Russians. You got to get rid of that momentum. It's going to be a save, and the puck's going to go over to the Americans as Jimmy Craig makes the big stop there. And here comes the United States. They bring it right out. Number 6, we're looking for skill. So player number 1, Verkota, has it, but so does Bilyatinov. So it will be a U.S. turnover because the Russians have momentum. I think we're going to do a... Oh, we've already used up all our line skips, so we have to go to the 4th line. Russians pick it up, and we have a 4, which is going to be an odd man rush. Die number 2 means... if player number 2 has a down arrow, it's going to be a scoring chance, and Golikov does not. So it will be a Russian turnover. Puck goes over to the other side, and here comes the United States. It is a 10, so a turnover if there's a block, and of course the Russians have it. I usually set it up so each line has one when I played. And a 7 is going to be a lull. That is going to be the end of the second period. Sort of a disastrous period for the Americans. Russia pumps in 4 goals. We had 6 lulls, which means 3 shots for each team. Russia had 13 shots on net in that period. The United States only 4. Scoring chances, Russia 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring chances. And none for the Americans. So we're going to the 3rd period. It doesn't look good, folks, for the U.S. We will truly need a miracle if they want to win this one. It is 5-0 after 2 periods. Here's the score sheet and the stats. As you can see, the Russians have 24 shots on net to 9 for the Americans. Scoring chances are 5-0. So sort of a one-sided battle. When you look at the number of qualities, you can sort of see it, but you never know. Here we go for the face-off. Number 8, puck is going to go over to the home team, and USA picks it up. Number 4 is going to be an odd man rush, and does D4 have a block? And of course he does. So it's going to be U.S. turnover, and puck is going to go over to the other side. We got to change the lines. Here come the Russians. We got a 7, which is going to be a lull. And so if the Russians would have had momentum, they would have lost it. Check off 3 spaces. 6, visitors going to pick up the puck for the Russians. And an 11, we're looking for 2 blocks on the American side. They don't have it, so it's going to be a Russian shot on net. Here come the Russians. It's going to be a 5, which is going to be a 3-1 choice. So 3-1, we'll give it to Balderas. And 2, 3, 4-star shot for Russia. And they're not going to get it. It's a 12. So the Russians will keep the puck, and we won't change the lines. We'll just begin again. And we roll a 10, which is if they have a block, they're going to lose it. And the U.S. does not have it. Yeah, they just got the 1 defensive block on Ken Morrow. Number 10, same thing. Oh, that would have been a breakaway, but nobody has it, so we keep going. Number 8, we're looking for the hit sign. The Russians have 1, and the Americans have 1, but the Americans will grab the puck. It'll be a Russian turnover because they are a home team, and they will get momentum because of that big hit. And we will rotate the lines. Mike Ramsey's hit comes in handy there. We got a 6. It is going to be a zoom, and we're looking for power. Silk has it, so it's going to be a shot on net for the United States. And it's going to be a 7. Not good. Secondary shot. Number 8 is going to be a 2-1-5. So we have 2-1-5. O'Callaghan has scissors. It's going to be no shot on net. And Oh man, I just lost my dice. Just pick up a different one. Sorry about that, folks. Wouldn't you know it? Where did it go? Oh, jeez. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Get all excited. Here comes a shot for the Americans. It's not even going to be a shot. It's a 10. So it's going to be a save. Puck goes over to the other side. And we will use a line skip. Get the top American lines back out there. And Russia's got the puck. Bring it right back out. We got a 6. It is going to be a zoom, and we're looking for star. So we're going to be going player number 5. And he is a star against player number 1. They're both stars. Actually, Schneider, the Americans have momentum, so that's going to be a Russian turnover. And puck goes over to the other side, and here come the Americans right back, trying to get back in this game with a big goal. We got a 10, and that is going to be a breakaway for the Russians. We have a turnover. They have a square. So Russia has a breakaway. It is going to be number... it's going to be a 3-2-1 on the breakaway. So 3-2-1. Krutov is a 4-star shot for the Russians on this breakaway. And it is a 4-star shot, but Craig's going to stop it. We are going to get a rebound going out to number 1. And Krutov is going to get his own rebound. It'll be a 3-star shot on the rebound, and he's not going to get it. Puck goes over to the Americans. And we got to change lines. We are 8 minutes into the third period, 5-0 Russia. And we're going to have an ice blast. And we're looking for Smart. So Russians have 1, 2, 3. Americans have 1, 2. They have 3. So they're going to get a shot on net here. So the U.S. chance to put the puck in the twine is going to get a shot. Number 6 is going to be a 3-2-1. So 3-2-1 shot for Verkota. We have 1, 2. This is going to be a 4-star shot. Maybe they're going to pull it off. Verkota's going to shoot. It's in range. Oh, but Trechak's going to make the save. And they do have a block, so they will pick up the rebound. So the Americans did get a quality scoring chance. Puck's going to go over to the other side. We're just going to play it out down here, these fourth lines. And here come the Russians. Number 3, team with the most triangles. We have 1, 2. The Russians will get a shot on net. Their 4th shot of the period with the triangles. And it's going to be a 6, which is going to be a 3-2-1. So 3-2-1. We're going to get 1, 2, 3-star shot for Yuri Lebedev. And he's not going to get it. Number 10, puck's going to go over to the other side. And the Russians pick the puck up. Sorry, the Americans pick the puck up. Number 5, we're going to have a possible penalty coming up. And it's going to go to number 9, offensive player number 2. So possible penalty to Mike Eruzione again. We're going to check 2 against 4. Starkov is a 0. So Eruzione will go to the penalty box for the Americans. They're getting 2 minutes. 3rd power play of the hockey game for the Russians. The Americans have not had any yet. For the U.S. and the Russians, are both going to use a double shift. So we're going to, Russians will rotate their D-men, but they'll keep the forwards out there, and they will gain momentum. The Americans will keep these guys out there. We want Johnson's dot and Ramsey's dot, so nobody's going to move on that side. And we'll go to the power play. From the draw, we roll a 5. So shorthanded team wins the face-off. Puck goes over to the U.S. Maybe get some shots on net here. Number 12, choice offensive player launches a shot. Goalie must make a spectacular save. So the U.S. get a huge break. They get a chance for a spectacular save chance on Vladislav Tretiak. Number 7, 2 stars. Tretiak does have the 2 stars. And Tretiak will make the big save. We will rotate the lines, and it is going to be a face-off. So the Americans do not get the big chance. We'll just sit Harrington out here for the face-off. That would have been huge for the U.S. Man advantage gets it. Do they have a star? No, they don't. Vasilyev's got one. Golikov's got one. But they will just get the puck. We'll have to roll. It is a 5. Another possible penalty coming up. And it's coming up to number 6. The D5 is going to be possibly getting the penalty. So D5 could be getting it. Bilyetinoff. He's a point. Oh, sorry. Did I say D5? Yeah, D5. It's going to go to O'Callaghan. 5 against the 1. Krutov. So O'Callaghan is going to pick up the penalty. So the U.S. going to get another penalty. The Russians going on their 4th power play opportunity. And we're just going to rotate the lines. So now Silk, Eruzioni's penalty is over, but O'Callaghan goes into the penalty box. And we're going to have a face-off. Face-off number 8. Man advantage team picks it up with a star. They're going to get a shot on net. The Russians' 5th shot on net. And Makarov has the star, so they will get the shot. 9 is a 4-2 choice. So for Sergakov to Makarov, the shooter's going to be, we'll give it to Karlamov. And that is a 1, 2, 3, 5-star shot for the Russians. It is in range, and Jimmy Craig can't stop the onslaught. The Russians will pump in a power play goal. So their 6th goal of the game, 14:35. It is going to be Valery Karlamov with the 2nd goal of the game. Power play goal from Starikov and Makarov. And everyone's probably stopped watching at this point. 6-0 for the Russians. They do have great cards. And we're going to use a line skip, our last one for each team. Move those guys up. We'll just rotate the D-men normally. And we're going to have a face-off. So out of the penalty box comes Jack O'Callaghan. And for the face-off, number 4. And that is going to go to the high face-off guy. That will go to the Russians because they have momentum. They're both at 58. And we're going to roll an 11. Do the Americans have 2 blocks on defense? No, they do not. It's going to be another Russian shot 15 minutes into the period. And it is a 6. It's going to be a 3-2-1. 3-2-1. Golikov, 3, 4, 5-star shot for the Russians as they have momentum. They're going to get it. But Craig's going to make the save. The rebound on a 6 is going to go to 1. So Golikov will have a 4-star shot on the rebound. He gets it. But Craig is going to make the stop on the 2. A 6 will go to number 1 again. So Golikov will get a 2nd crack at it. He's now at a 5-star shot and doesn't get it. Save faceoff. So big break there for the Americans. And going to have a faceoff. And we're going to have a lull. So the Russians will lose their momentum. We have 1 minute left in the hockey game, folks. Not going as I expected or anybody expected. Everything sort of went Russia's way. High faceoff picks it up. 55, that will go to the U.S. Maybe they can pump one in here late in the game. Momentum looking for hits. We got nothing here. We got 1 hit here and 1 hit here. So the U.S. does pick up momentum late in the game. It's an 8, an ice blast. We're looking for stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's not good. 1. That is going to be a USA turnover. So that will be the end. Russia scores 1 period. It was that 2nd period that killed the United States. This one's going to end up 6-0. We had 6 lulls, which means 3 shots for each team. Russia finishes with 11 shots in the period. The U.S. will have 6. Scoring chances, U.S. had 2 scoring chances. Trocheck made stops. Russia did have 3. So if we take a look at our stat sheet for right now, 8 scoring chances for Russia in the game, 2 for the U.S., 9 and 6, 15 shots for the Americans in this hockey game, 24-35 for the Russians. Add up our lows. So we have 6 and 6, 12. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Russians finished 1 for 6 on the power play. The U.S. 0 for 2. That's all for now, folks. Not what I was expecting. 1980 Olympics. Russia picks up a big 6-0 win.